My dear residents, my dear children, thank you for joining me for tonight's rally. I would like to discuss two topics that are of great interest to our Punggol families and children. Punggol is a young and growing town. Many of our residents take public transport to work, to study, to send their family members around. 1 hour spent on the road is 1 hour spent away from the family, away from their loved ones. And that is an additional hour that could have been spent more productively on something else. And I know this feeling very well. 29 years ago, when I was still a student, it took me 1.5 hours to go to school. I remember walking for 20 minutes to get to the MRT station, taking the MRT for 20 minutes, taking a bus for another 15 minutes, and then walking to the school for another 15 to 20 minutes. By the time I arrived in school, I was exhausted and drained, and that impacted my studies. So transport issues affects physical and mental well-being. I know this. I know these are your concerns. I'm with you 4 to 5 days a week, every week for the past 5 years. How can I not know that transport issues are on your mind? We do not need strangers to come to Punggol to talk to just any resident to find out what is on your mind. We know this, all of us on the stage know this. The important thing is, what do we do about it? We have been hard at work at it. Let me just give you an example. The 2-car LRT carriage, this was ordered in January 2022. It arrived in Singapore in November 2024. It has been put to testing and we are rolling it out for service in July 2025. My dear residents, just this one item took 3.5 years. And you look around us, roads are being built, MRT lines are being built. Yes, lots of digging happening around Punggol. But, my dear residents, what you see is a Punggol that is constantly developing. And with development, there is upside potential for all of us. And that is something that we should be looking forward to know that Punggol is becoming a more and more valuable estate year by year. Apart from working with government agencies to deliver a better home for you, I've also been working hard to galvanize community resources and to deliver ground-up solutions to meet the needs of our families and our children. When I came to Punggol 10 years ago, let me be clear, in Punggol West, there was nothing, no facilities. I looked around me, so many young families, so many young children, not even a library for them. Yes, we now have a wonderful Punggol Regional Library, but 10 years ago, we did not have it. So what did I do? I launched a ground-up initiative to build a container library for little children because I wanted them to be able to start reading as early as possible. I want to make sure that our Punggol children has as good a start as all the other children in the rest of Singapore. And that is how our little container library, which started in 2016, it started with 3,500 books. Now fast forward to 2023, our children had grown up by then. They were in primary school, they were in secondary school, and the amazing Punggol Regional Library had already then been launched. And we could see that there was no further need for the container library. And so we upgraded the container library to the lighthouse at Punggol. What is the lighthouse? The lighthouse is a safe space for our children and youth where they can receive free academic support, attend free enrichment classes such as drama and choir, and have access to mentors and counselors. These services address real needs of families and the challenges that our children currently face. How did I come up with this idea? My friends, my dear residents, it is through what I saw when I came to Punggol. I recall meeting a father who came to MPS to see me. He was the sole breadwinner and he was working 2 jobs. His wife was a full-time homemaker and she was taking care of her child who was in primary school, and the child was taking tuition for all his subjects. The father was under financial strain. He spoke to me. He said, "I have to work hard to support my family. I don't want my son to end up like me, going nowhere." And as he said that, his voice trailed off and tears welled up in his eyes. I also met a young boy who spent all his hours after school in the Punggol West Void Deck CC, which basically only had a registration counter. He was there every day after school for hours playing with his mobile phone. Why? His parents felt that it was safer for him to be at the Void Deck CC registration counter than to be alone at home. He had no place to go. My dear residents, my dear children, these stories struck me deeply in my heart. My children, my Punggol children, deserve better. And so we had the Container Library, and now we have the Lighthouse. The board of the Lighthouse comprises the Dean of NUS Medicine, the CEO of IMH, the former CEO of Kickstart. The programs at the Lighthouse are carefully curated. I want the best for our children in Punggol. And already, lives have been transformed. Let me share with you some real stories. There is Adrian, a teenager with social anxiety. He came to the Lighthouse because he was referred to us by a social worker. He could not hold a decent conversation with people. He was very, very shy. He had social anxiety. So he joined drama classes, which was based on game-based role play. And through these interactive sessions, he is now more confident, more able to talk to people, able to socialize. And then we have Yen, an 11-year-old boy who was prone to outbursts. He often called himself bad names, used bad words on himself. He called himself a liar, a bad boy. Many teachers, many people didn't know what to do with him. Our mentors, our counselors worked with him, and we found out that he had been traumatized by the death of a family member. Through conversations with him, the counselor worked with Yen to stop self-blame and to think positive thoughts. He now has aspirations to be a sportsman. He has aspirations to do well. And then there is Dan, 9 years old. I first got to know him at MPS, and he struck me by telling me how much he loved his 4-year-old sister. He said, "I sleep on the floor so that my sister can sleep on the one mattress we have at home." That night, I could barely sleep. Through the Child Wellbeing Program at the Lighthouse, we furnished the family with all the furniture that they needed for their 3 young children. Dan also started coming to the Lighthouse for academic support. He started participating in the choir where our children sing songs of dreams, of hope, and they are able to aspire to a better future. My dear parents, my dear children, in Punggol, we spare no effort in galvanizing community resources. We want to create conditions for our children to thrive and to flourish. And there is so much we can look forward to in Punggol. Recently, I updated our Punggol parents that we will have a new primary school, a new secondary school, and a junior college in Punggol. The Singapore Institute of Technology has also opened its campus since September last year. At full capacity, it will be able to accommodate 11,000 undergraduates. So I say this to you, my dear parents, my dear children. The future is bright for our children and youth here in Punggol. The best chapters are still being written. We do not need to travel far for opportunities for our children. We are bringing these opportunities to Punggol for you. We are bringing this closer to home for you because we are a party of action. We are the People's Action Party.